So, good afternoon, friends and teacher. Today I am giving a presentation on reporting and documenting specific small buildings in New Zealand construction industry. So, our first point is like importance and relevance of small building designs in the New Zealand. Second point is the discussion on functionality, sustainability, user needs, materials, time and cost. Implication impact the design process. The third point is that determine design criteria and safety factor in the assigning design lots. And fourth point is explore factor influencing design criteria selection. Fifth point is analyzing of the key structural element and foundation and substitute requirement. And last one is the conclusion. Next topic is importance and relevance of small building designs in the New Zealand. So small structure configuration is very important in the New Zealand because it can solve a lot of problems and open up valuable probability of possible events. Little structure configuration is a sensible solution for efficient land use and responsible logging, particularly in the rural and metropolitan areas, which are developed area. Given the nation's spread population and urbanization required, moreover, it's similarly with the New Zealand manageability targets exhibit its importance in listening ecological effect and upgrading pathological event strength. As far as culture, little structure help to save a local design and personality and encourage local areas union. And as far as travel industry, they assume that a vital part in the finishing guest with the cradle and vital encounter. So next topic is discussion on functionality, substantiality, user needs, material, time and cost implication impact the design process. So firstly we discuss the functionality. So according to functionality, usefulness is central in little structural plan, as each square meter should be advanced to proficiently address the tenant issue. Fashioners should continuously consider the space format, cost stream and multi-practical utilization of space. The grantee guest greatest easy of the use inside the restricted area and like this. Another point is sustainability. New Zealand puts area of strength for an supportability in the building configuration planning to decrease ecological effect and advance asset productivity. Plan choice in regards to energy efficient utilization of sustainable materials where the executive and water prevention for vital. Next is user need. Understanding the diverse need of occupants is fundamentally small building design. Designer must conduct throughout research and engage with the stakeholder to identify and prior user required factors such as accessibility, comfort, safety and cultural preference should be carefully considered to create a space that enhance the quality life for the occupants. Next is material. So while making any building or any structure, material plays a vital role in the building and in the structure. So material Material choice assume a urgent part in the little structural configuration, impact both the feel and execution of the construction to support the local economic and reduce embodied carbon. We prefer materials that are suitable and substitutably local, sourced locally. Next is time. So, according to time imperials the frequently influence the plan cycle, especially in the high-speed development conditions. To meet project deadline without sacrificing quality or sustainability goals, design must be work efficiently, use pre-assembled development, procure and normalize plan. So basically, in the time we need to done everything in the given time without effective the material and strength of the building. So everything will be done within the time. So next is cost. Cost is another important factor while making any building or any structure, because it vary on the budget. So cost taking into account cost is an important part of the design process, especially for the small construction project where funds may be limited, or in order to find cost efficient solution that do not compromise functionality, sustainability or the requirement of user, design must strike balance between the design goals and financial constraints. Like the everything will be done within the cost, which is like within the budget. And for the small, like who are making a small project, they need to manage the cost for the project. So next is determining design criteria and safety factor in assigning design loads. So functional requirements are requirements that must be met by the design system or structure. A bridge, for instance, should be able to withstand a certain amount of traffic without deforming beyond what is a consideration with what is considered acceptable. Next thing is execution norms. These are the portion of how well the design or framework should be performed under different curriculum. For example, a structure could have the induced wind pace of up to a specific speed without critical harm. So basically, we need to make a good quality of building. So moreover, load factor, these are applied to various sort of burdens, for example dead loads, live loads, ecological burden, to represent vulnerability and variety in those types. For instance, in underlying model live burden component may be applied to represent error burden, like group on an extension of furniture in the structure. Another point is metal properties. Well-being factor, likewise think about the fluctuation in the material properties. This may be variable in the strength, classicity and other characteristics, even with the same material batch representing the things. These varieties guarantee the plan say. Next topic is explore factors influencing design criteria selection. Function requirements. The design criteria are heavily influenced by the system or the structure primary function or purpose. For instance, an extension needs for weight traffic should focus on load bearing limit and toughness, while a private structure could focus on scale, style and energy proficiency. Another point is administrative principle and codes. Plan models frequently need to concern to the neighborhood, public, and global guidelines, building regulations, and industry norms. These guidelines guarantee security, dependability, and similarity with the existing framework. Complying violence can result in legal cost and damages to one's safety. So next is analyze of the key structural elements, foundation and substitute requirements. So substitutes requirements are like elements of structure, radiations. Bars are flat underlying component that conveys stress basically by bowling. They transfer loads to the columns or walls below from the slab or floor above. The cross section, shape, span, level, load distribution and metal selection all are aspects of the beam design. Moreover, section are upward underlying component that help load from a higher place and move them to the establishment. Axial load, bending movements, slenderness ratio, material strength and stability all are aspects of the column design. So it totally depends on the column design. Next is sort of establishment. So establishment move building burden to the fundamental soil or rock laying. Shallow foundations such as spread footing and mat pounding, and deep foundation such as a plinth and are two typical types. The decision of the establishment types rely upon to the, for example, soil bearing, limited primary burden, site conditions and development techniques. Next one is soil investigation, and engineers could soil investigation to evaluate soil properties. Like engineers will investigate about the soil and the properties in the soil. Next point is footing. Footing are structural element that transfer building load to the foundation. So like in this, like all the weight transfer into the building, all the building load transfer onto the soil columns which are in the soil. And next one is holding walls. Holding walls are structure used to hold soil or different materials at various rises. They prevent soil slope instantly and provide later support. The design of retaining walls take into the account things like the type of soil and the property of the retained materials, subcharges, loads, water pressure and all. And the last is conclusion. All in all, the careful, relevant and documentation of a particular little structure inside the New Zealand development industry are fundamental in the lights of multiple factors. First is provide valuable insight for future references and decision making as a comprehensive record of the project design, construction and maintenance history. Secondly, it makes sure that local building codes, regulations and industry standards are followed, protecting the safe and well-being of the people who live there and the community that's surrounding them. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Satyam. Would you please explain some benefits of designing solid
The benefits of making small building as compared to large building is like the land efficiency. When we need like in this fast-paced era, there is a land availability is less, so people mostly try to make a small building. Another thing is it is a cost effectiveness, because when we are making a small building we need a less amount of money as compared to large building. If we are constructing a large building, we need a large amount of money. Another thing is that it is safe for everyone, because when we are making small building, we do not need to make too much floors, and it's very easy to construct.
Faster and easier.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you so much.